Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to my class. In the series of learning programming in C, in the previous video, we have discussed about structures, a complete program on structure. We have seen how to accept the values and display the values. Well, in today's video, we will discuss about array of structure. What is array of structure? How to write a program using array of structure? Let us learn in today's session. And we'll also see how this program runs practically also. So those who are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon so that you can get the notification of all the new videos. And if you like the video, please click on the like button and share the video to all your friends. So here I have defined a structure. The structure by name student, and we have the members, register number, name and fees. So this structure, a new user-defined data type by name student, I have created with three members, saying that it can store three values, multiple values of multiple types. One is of integer type, character type and float type. So totally I can store three values of three different types. So my new data type is ready now. Using that data type, struct student, I create a variable. So when I create a variable, memory will be allocated. So how the memory will be allocated? It is going to allocate the memory for all its members. So all these are members. So I am going to get the memory for all the members for register number, name and fees. So when I just look into this representation, it means to say I am storing the details of one student. So this one student details I am storing. Register number, name and fees. So now I say register number is of 2 bytes, name is of 10 bytes and fees is of 4 bytes. Totally I am getting 16 bytes of memory for S1. So one structure variable S1 is of 16 bytes that can store register number, name and fees. Now if I want to store the details of one more student, then I need to have one more variable. Then I say yes2. So again, when I create a variable yes2 of this user defined type student, once again I get the memory. So as soon as the compiler encounters this variable structure, variable declaration, it is going to allocate the memory for yes2 also. So again I am going to get the memory for yes2. I get the memory for register number, then name and then fees. So I can store the details of next student, register number, name and fees. Again 2 bytes, it's an array. I am going to get 10 bytes because the dimension is 10, then 4. Again 16 bytes of memory is allocated for yes2 also. So I am trying to store only 2 students details. But if I want to store few more students details, I want to store 10 students details. Is it possible to create 10 variables? I say S1, S2, S3, S4 up to S10. Of course I can create. But it's quite difficult to manage those variables individually. So I need to say S1 dot register number, S1 dot name, S1 dot register number, S1 dot name and S1 dot fees. Again, to accept the values and to print the values. Then again I need to say accept the value for second student. I should say yes2 dot register number, yes2 dot name and yes2 dot fees. To accept the values as well as to print. If I go with S3, S4, S5, it goes on like this. So it's quite difficult to manage with individual variables and access the members. Just imagine you have 5 to 10 members and 5 to 10 structure variables. 10 structure variables with 10 members. See, just imagine, it's quite difficult to manage with individual variables and make that individual variable to access every member of the structure. So what is the solution for this? It is array. So what I can do here, instead of having individual variable names, we can have array of structures. Instead of having individual structure variable, we can have array of structure. So structure variable name with the dimension 5, just like array, we say it is representing the dimension here to say 5 students details I can store. So here my entity name is student. So I can store the details of 5 students. S of 5. So how the memory will be allocated for this? Say S of 0, S of 1, 2, 3 and 4. For every index, I will get the memory for every members of the structure. Say S of 0, register number, name and fees. S of 1, register number, name and then fees. It goes on up to S of 4, register number, name and fees. Totally, I can store maximum of 5 students details. It can be less than that also. But memory will be allocated to store the details of 5 students with the respective members. I can store less than that also. But that is what the disadvantage of arrays. See, the size is static. We cannot change that during runtime. So once the size is fixed, memory allocation will be done for that complete dimension. I say 5, I can store maximum of 5 student details. Means memory. During the compile time itself, memory allocation will be done. So as soon as the compiler encounters this array variable declaration, it is going to allocate the memory for 5 students. S of 5 means maximum 5 student details I can store. Right, from S of 0 to S of 4. Right. How to access this? I say S of 0 dot register number, S of 0 dot name, S of 0 dot fees. Again S1 of register number, S1 of name, S1 of fees. Again S2, S3 and S4. If I use this individually like this, then it does not make any sense. So what I can do for this? I can make use of loop structure. I can take the help of for loop to take care of all these index. So I can just say S of I dot register number, S of I dot name, S of I dot fees. So the loop will take care of the index and I can access every members. Maximum 5 I can store, it can be less than that also. But when I am using less than the allocated memory, the allocated memory will be wasted. If I just store 3 student details, the remaining memory will be wasted. Now let us see how to use this array of structure with for loop with a complete program. So here we have the complete program to understand array of structures. So we have the structure by name student with the members, register number, name and fees. So all these are structure members, register number, name and then fees. Inside the main we have the structure variable declaration. It is not a normal structure variable. It is array of structure. It is S of 5. S of 5 in a sense I can store maximum 5 students details. I can also have this declaration here also. I can just write S of 5. Then it can be treated as a global declaration. So it can be declared here also, or you can have it inside the main also. But don't forget to have this semicolon. Okay. So now inside the main, I have declared this structure array S of 5. As soon as the compiler encounters this structure array variable declaration, it is going to allocate the memory for that. So S of 0, S of 1, 2, 3 up to 4. For every structure variable, that is S of 0, we are going to get the access to the members. For every structure variable, we can access the structure members. So S of 0 dot register number, S of 0 dot name, S of 0 dot fees. The same way, S of 1 dot register number, S of 1 dot fees, name, all those things followed with S of 2, 3, 4. Right? 0 to 4, totally 5. And that's no mandatory that we have to use the complete allocated memory. I can store less than that also. Fine. So what I do, let me take the details of 3 students. If you want to accept that limit also, you can put a message, take an extra variable n, enter the limit of the array. So I just say 3. So then you can put that n value here. Or else if you know that you're going to take, if you know that you're taking 3 student details, simply put that value. Okay. So you have a control variable I. Let me start with the for loop. I say I equal to 0, I less than 3. So 0 less than 3, condition true. Get inside, execute this complete block of statement. So in the output screen, I'll be getting the message, enter the register number. So I'm going to input 101. So that will be scanned with the scanf, scan the integer, store in the address of, observe this carefully, address of s of I dot register number. What is I? It is 0. I is 0. S of 0. S of 0 dot register number. So what I am saying here, S of 0 dot register number. So this value will go to this address. Then the next message I'll get, enter the name. So I'll just get the message, enter the name. So let me give the name as Yash. So this value will go to S of I dot name. I means it is 0. It is percentage yes. And when I say percentage yes, I need not have the ampersand because the array name itself will give you the base address. So it is S of 0 dot name. So S of 0 dot name, this particular value will be stored. Say yes. Okay. Next, enter the fees. The next message is enter the fees. Then I'm going to type the fees. So I'll say 10,000. That value will be scanned as percentage F, store in the address of S of I dot fees. I means 0. S of 0 dot fees. S of 0 dot fees, I'm going to get 10,000. Done? Now, after executing all these statements, the control will be to I plus plus. Loop back. I gets increased now. I becomes how much? I was 0. 0 plus 1, it is 1. Now I value becomes 1. Again, check the condition. 1 less than 3. So I have to check the loop condition. 1 less than 3 is 1 less than 3. Yes, condition satisfied. Again, get inside this block, execute this complete statement. So again, I get all these messages. So I'll be getting the message once again. Say, enter the register number. So I'm going to enter 102. So that will be scanned as integer, store in the address of S of I dot register number. What is I value? It is 1. S of 1 dot register number, I'll get 102. Again, this message, enter the name. Then I'll say Varun. Okay, that will be stored in the S of I dot name. I means 1. S of 1 dot name, so it is Varun. Then enter the fees. So I'm going to get all these messages again. So I'll just say 20,000. So that will be stored in S of 1 dot fees. S of 1 dot fees 20,000. Done with all the statements. Again loop back. I gets increased. It was 1. Now it becomes 2. Is 2 less than 3? Yes, condition satisfied. Again get inside. Execute all these statements. So again I'll be getting the message. Enter the register number. Enter the name. Enter the fees. I'm going to accept the third value also. So for example, I have inputted 103. So I get the message. Enter the register number. Enter the name and enter the fees. So I'll just say Raj. I say 30,000. Okay. Then again loop back. It becomes 3. Is 3 less than 3? No. Condition not satisfied. Come out of the loop. Control will be to this point. So my continuity is here. Control to this line. I say printf register number, name and fees. So in the output screen, what I am going to get? I am going to get a message like this. I say register number, tab space, name, 2 tab space and then fees. That will be the common message. Then loop starts. I equal to 0, I less than 3. 0 less than 3, yes, condition satisfied. Execute this single statement. Print an integer and a string and a float value which is in s of I dot register number. S of I means s of 0 dot register number. So it is 101. S of 0 dot name. So it is Yash. S of 0 dot fees. So it is 10,000. Tab space and new line. Cursor will come to next line. Again, loop back. I gets increased. It becomes 1. So from 0, it becomes I plus plus means it is 1. 1 less than 3. Yes, again, get inside. Print an integer, string and a float in s of I dot register number. I is how much? It is 1. So s of 1 dot register number, s of 1 dot name, s of 1 dot fees. Then again loop back, it gets increased. 2, I gets increased, it becomes 2. 2 less than 3, yes, condition satisfied. Again get inside, s of 2 dot register number which is 103, s of 2 dot name which is Raj, s of 2 dot fees which is 30,000. Loop back, it becomes 3. 3 less than 3, no, condition not satisfied. Come out of the loop and the program ends. So this is how we are going to use the for loop and access the array of structure. So let us see the execution of this program. So here we have the complete program. So the structure by name student we have defined with the members register number, name and fees. So in the main we have the structure declaration. Just observe here we have the structure declaration, and in this structure declaration we say struct student followed with the array variable. Structure variable is yes, and the subscript I have given it as, that is dimension, I have given it as 5, means that I can store 5 student details. So in the previous program we declared only one variable, structure variable, say struct student yes1. So when I say it is single variable, it can store the details of one student. Now the structure variable name is yes and the dimension is 5. So this is array of structure. So I can store 5 student details. So I have the control variable I say I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. So I am going to accept the details of 3 students. Maximum dimension I have given it as 5. It can be less than that also, but it cannot be more than that. So I just say 3 student details I am going to accept. So I say percentage %d scan the register number, store that in the address of s of I dot register number. S of I means it is s of 0 dot register number. So for the first iteration I say I equal to 0, 0 less than 3, I'll get inside. So this complete block will be executed. So what happens? I'm going to accept the first student register number. So s of I means 0. S of 0 dot register number, then I say enter the name, then percentage yes. So here we just say s of I, we don't mention ampersand. So it is s of I dot name, then I say enter the fees, then percentage f, store that in the address of s of I, ampersand, that is address of s of I means s of 0. Then again loop back, I gets incremented, I becomes 1. Then again s of 1 dot register number, s of 1 dot name and s of 1 dot fees. Then again loop back 2. So it is s of 2 dot register number, s of 2 dot name and s of 2 dot fees. Then again loop back, it becomes 3, 3 less than 3, condition not satisfied, I have to come out of the loop. Hope this loop structure you have learned in the previous videos. Please do check out the playlist if you are not aware of the loop structure. So here we have the structure array. So the structure array, I have accepted the details of 3 students. Now it's time to print in a different format. So what we can do, we can simply have a common message as heading. I say register number with tab space, heading, name as heading with 2 tab space. If the name is very big, let it have 2 tab space. Then fees, new line. This will be the first heading. So I shouldn't put this inside the main. This particular statement, it should be outside the for loop. It should not be inside the for loop. So what we'll do here, we'll start with the for loop and we will have a single printf to print one integer, one string and one float.
which is S of I dot register number means S of 0 dot register number, S of 0 dot name, S of 0 dot fees. Every values with respective tab space. See here, tab space, 2 tab space and 1 new line. So after printing one student details, it will go to the next line. Then again loop back, it becomes I becomes 1. So it is S of 1 dot register number, S of 1 dot name, S of 1 dot fees, new line. See here, it is new line. Then loop back, I gets increased, it becomes 2. So it is S of 2 dot register number, S of 2 dot name and S of 2 dot fees. Then again 3 less than 3, condition not satisfied, I am going to come out of the loop. So here, this is how we print the structure, array of structure, how we are going to accept, and this is how we are going to print the values. Let us save this program, save the program and run the program now. You should get the message, say enter register number, enter name, enter fees. So all these things has to be repeated thrice. So we got the message, enter the register number. Let me input say 101. Enter the name, I say yes. Enter the fee, say 10,000. When I press enter key, once again I will get the message, enter the register number. I say 102, say name, say Raju, then say 12,000. Again I'll get the message, I'll say 103, enter the name, say Varun. Now the fees, say 30,000. Now press the enter key, you'll get the output. So here we have the output. So this is how the array of structure used. So hope you have understood with this program. That's all for today's video. See you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.